I want to talk about the power of now. There's a book by the same name by Eckhart Tolle. It's a spiritual awareness. Yesterday I went to bed around about 11:30, and then I woke up at 6 o'clock with a panic attack. Usually all of my shortcomings hit me straight in the face and I get up. So I went downstairs, had a glass of water, came upstairs, sat near the bed and started to meditate. Literally within about 20 minutes I was in a pretty nice place, and then I crawled back into bed, and then I carried that trance-like feeling into the bed, and I continue to think of nothing but the power of now. The power of now basically talks about you do not have any other time except the now. So there's no point living in the future, and there's no point living in the past, because in the past, at that particular moment that you're thinking about, you were actually living in the moment. You were living in the now. And sometime in the future that you keep worrying about, at that moment in time, you will be living in the now, because the only thing you got is the moment in time that you're living in now, if that makes sense. So imagine now that your heartbeat is like a celestial drum beat reverberating through the galaxy. And every breath you take keeps you alive. Every heartbeat takes you alive. Besides that, there's nothing else. Because if you miss a few heartbeats, you will be unconscious. And within a few minutes, you'd be dead. You'd be brain dead. And then, of course, you would turn into the earth. If you miss a few breaths, like if you were drowning, you'd be dead. So what the hell does anything else matter? Why do you need to worry about the future? Hasn't arrived yet. Why the hell do you need to worry about the past? If you were to live in the moment, if you consider every day as the first day of the last day of your life, this is your last day on earth, why the hell does the past matter? Why would you want to even think about it? It's not very important to you right now, because you're going to be dead by the end of the day. There's no point thinking about tomorrow, and there's no point thinking about the past, because past is irrelevant and tomorrow is never going to come. So why do you want to worry about it? Why don't you learn to live in the now? At that moment, just think and concentrate on your breathing, and imagine the heartbeat. You can hear the heartbeat in your eardrums, so you can listen to your heartbeat, and you can concentrate on your breathing, and everything else will disappear. You don't need to worry about your problems. You're going to be dead at the end of the day, so why do you want to worry about your problems? They're insignificant. And you don't want to worry about what's happened in the past. What's happened in the past, leave it in the past where it belongs. And why do you want to beat yourself up over the future? Future isn't even here yet. It's like self-punishment. Why the hell do you want to self-punish yourself over something that hasn't even happened yet? Learn to live in the now. So in the morning, when I actually learn to live in the now, when I sit down, because you're now anchoring yourself in a different position. When I am in bed, because I've got anchored bad feelings in bed, I start to feel bad. Because I used to have panic attacks in bed, so of course I'm going to feel bad at 6 o'clock, because I did therapy on myself 2 years ago, and I told myself that staying in bed after 6 o'clock is a stupid thing to do. and you are just wasting your life away. So every day at 6 o'clock, I get this horrible anxiety and I have to jump out of bed. Otherwise, that anxiety will consume me. And it doesn't matter what time I go to bed. If I go to bed at 10 or 12, so it's best if I go to bed at 10, because at least I'll have adequate amount of sleep. So every time it's 6 o'clock, I have this panic attack, and then I have to jump out of bed to break that state, which is an unresourceful state. But now I've discovered that if I meditate, not in bed, but outside bed, in keeping my back upright, in a lotus position, if I just concentrate on the power of the now, I can go into a trance. And once I'm in a trance, I'm in a nice, in that good place, I can then go back to bed, carry that over, and before you know it, I go to sleep. And yesterday I got up at, I think, about 8:30. It was great. The other thing I noticed yesterday is I had a bit of time, which I didn't know what to do with. Bit of time spare in the evening, and we decided, because it was a Sunday, that I decided that we'll have a little time to ourselves. We'll just watch a film. And we started watching this new film called Guilty. And do you know, for the life of me, I couldn't get into it, because all that anxiety just came back, and no matter what I did, I was just beating myself up. I couldn't live in the moment because I had my eyes open. I was watching this film. I tried to ignore thoughts and feelings, and it just didn't work. And the reason was 2 years ago, again, part of the therapy I did, where I told myself that watching TV is a futile exercise. It's a complete and utter waste of my time. If I ever go to the cinema, I don't have the same kind of feelings. I hate watching the news on TV. I can't stand it. And I refuse to watch it. The world will still be there without me worrying about it. So I don't want to watch that rubbish. But when I watch a film intentionally, I normally find that I don't enjoy it anymore. That horrible feeling comes along, and I find that very difficult to break that state. And I'm hoping that if I can do 5 minutes of meditation every half an hour, maybe do some meditation before I start watching the film, and then maybe after I stop watching the film, maybe I can overcome that. So the mind is absolutely amazing. So my lesson for today to you is live in the power of now. There is no other time. There's no point worrying about the future. There's no point worrying about the past. As the French philosopher once said, some of the terrible things that have happened to me that never took place, we seem to dwell on doom and gloom all our lives, and those things never actually take place. So learn to live in the now, and you'll enjoy a better quality of life.